Okay, I want to have a real conversation with you about the word reparations and what it means. Listen, don't judge it before you hear this part. The American government is not against reparations. As a matter of fact, you are likely not against reparations. Understand, reparations is simply a word that means repair. And in order to repair something, you have to acknowledge it is broken. Once you can acknowledge that it is broken, you must then acknowledge it needs to be fixed. Once these dynamics are established, you then look for the responsible party. In the case of reparations for the descendants of slaves or reparations for black people in the United States of America at large, the party who broke it is the American government. We can all agree to that. Let's talk about America's fascination with reparations. As a country, we have given reparations to Native Americans, not to the tune they deserved, but it is a form of reparations or repair. We've also given reparations to other groups, such as the Japanese and family members who were connected to those killed in the Holocaust. We did that recently. We gave governmental money and benefit because we thought it was worthy of repair, and rightfully so. You see, here's the thing. Reparations is not actually opposed by the United States government. It's not opposed by lawmakers because this country has voted routinely to grant reparations to various groups that they have deemed to be worthy of this due to government action or even government inaction. They are, however, seemingly against reparations for black people. That's different. Let me take you to a conversation that Dr. Phil had on his program not too long ago. And I want you to understand why it's offensive to many black people in America. Dr. Phil said if you give black folks $300,000+ or $800,000+, it would be a total disaster.
If you take $350,000 or $840,000 and you write a check to any group of people, black, white, poor, homeless, whatever, you give any group of people that much money and say, there you go, best of luck, and you come back in 6 months, they're going to be broke. So whatever reparations are done, that would be an absolute disaster.
He talked about how this would not create generational wealth, etc. Okay? That's his opinion. Now, he tried to clean it up by saying, if you give any group that much money, and then he started naming other groups, all right? Now, he left off groups like rich people. He said poor people, but he did say rich people. Here's the reality. Dr. Phil, you can facilitate discussions like this, but you do not bear the credentials to conclusively say what black people should or should not receive, because it is on us to have that conversation with you and others. We lead that conversation, not you. It's very simple. To suggest that somehow, in order to qualify for reparations, black people need to be trained how to spend money. That's basically what Dr. Phil said. There needs to be guidance and coaching. And I'm not saying those elements should not be in place. What I am saying is that you don't use it as a prerequisite in order to get money that you are already owed. Remember, reparations is not a handout. It is based on this one reality. There was an unfair government-approved or government-led operation that made this dysfunction, and we have to create a remedy for it. So reparations is not based on race. It is based on the behavior of the government toward a particular demographic, and if that particular demographic happens to be of one race, then naturally that's where the remedy resides. You know who else received reparations? Slave owners. Look it up, DC Emancipation. Because of the hurt and economic harm that slave owners would receive due to the freeing of the enslaved African, they were given reparations based on the number of enslaved human beings they could no longer legally enslave. Isn't that interesting? So let's count the ways. Various groups have received reparations. Even slave masters received reparations during that era, but no reparations for African Americans. If you believe it was broken by the government, you have to believe that the government is part or should be part of the remedy. Reparations should not be off the table as some kind of fringe discussion. It is a normative discussion, a credible discussion, and a needed discussion.